Riders, what's up? Hey, I'm here to make this video on basically just the names of parts of your hydraulic system and maybe a little bit of function of what they do, but more so the names. Because when I came in the game, looking up parts and everything, I'm trying to go on Hoppos or CCE or Black Magic, wherever I was trying to find parts. So I'm trying to, scroll through like, okay, well, what's that part called? What category may it be under? Stuff like that. You don't know the names of parts. And I don't think there was any videos like what I'm doing today on that. So I'm here to make that video for y'all. For all the new riders coming into the game, you can reference this video, figure out what the name of that part's called, and you can go effectively search for that part and not waste a lot of time. Right behind me, as you can see, we got various parts, various things here, and I'm going to go over each, explain what it is, obviously, what it's called, and a little bit of what it does. Not too much in that, but this is more of a name video. I got a couple pumps right here, pumps and blocks, so we're going to break the pump down and explain the part. All right, so we're going to start here with your pump. Your pump has, your visibly three main sections. You have your tank, you have your block, you have your motor. Okay, this is what all makes it all run. And inside here, you have your gear head, pump head, whatever they want to call it. A couple of different things, but it's two terms you're going to see the most is gear. You're going to see pump head. Let's start with the motor first. Let's break the motor down a little bit. Some of these parts here, the hydraulic companies do not sell. For example, if you burn your motor out, the hydraulic company won't sell you just the brushes or the armature. You got to buy the whole motor. Is that stuff available to buy? Yes, it's out there, but you got to do your homework and your research on it. So with the motor here, I got a motor broke down. This is your motor casing. Okay, this is called your armature. Okay, this is basically the meat of the motor. This is called an armature. This right here, also part of the motor. If you was to break a motor apart, it's not too hard. You will see first when you break it apart, you're going to see the top of the armature here. And then you're going to see these brushes. These are called your brushes. And this is called your brush plate, what the brushes sit on. Those sit on the top of the armature here. And they spin and it creates an electromagnetic force, whatever. That's what gets everything running. We're not going into the engineering class here, so that's what that is. And these, I'm not sure what these are. I'm pretty sure these are something with the, I don't know, magnetic force, whatever, something with the motor. One thing I did forget to mention that on the motor, you have this cap here, but you also have this end cap, which also holds the bearing inside of it. Those you can also go on the websites and you can find. These are interchangeable. You can find whichever one you want, billet style, whatever. Figure out what you want. It's all personal preference on this, but this is called an end cap, motor end cap. We're gonna have over here, call here the block. This is your block. These come in various sizes: 3/8, ½ inch, 3/4, and 1 inch. Okay, I think this is a 3/8 block here. Your gear head sits here on this side. You can always tell which side your gear head sits on, your pump head, whatever, because you have multiple holes on one side. And these are called steel inserts. You can buy these steel inserts on their websites. Right here is where your O-ring sits. That's your pressure seal. This side here, that's where your motor sits. You can always tell which side that sits on because it has just two rods that hold the motor on. And on your block, you have your pressure port, and then your return port. Not all blocks are the same. Some are center port. They're called center port blocks. In my car, I have center port blocks, meaning that my block has just one hole on top in the center, and then it has side returns. So I have dual side return on my block. And this is your air port. I've been trying to figure this out for the longest. I keep getting mixed answers. Some say you can add air to the block to give it a little oomph. Some say this is to just get air outside of the block. But when I figure that out, I'll let you know. Also inside the block right here on the gear side, you have a shaft seal. So a standard shaft seal looks like this. That goes inside your block as such, and you get it in there, you get it to seat properly, and what it does is it kind of keeps the fluid from seeping through and going to your motors. Me personally, I use the super seal. some OGs, whatever, they like to use the regular ones, the old school shaft seals. I am a fan of the Super Seal. Not only do I use a Super Seal, but I also use another seal on the motor side. Now you don't need this seal; it's kind of optional. I use it, because if this seal here decides to go, it's another backup seal so that fluid doesn't get to your motor. That looks like this. You can find those on eBay. That's where I found them, and you just pop that in there. I like to put a little bit of oil around it and then pop it in so it goes in there nice and easy. So I use two seals. I use a regular shaft seal. I use a Super Seal, shaft seal, and then I use a motor seal also. This is your backing plate. It's an extra piece of reinforcement that keeps that tank from blowing off with all that pressure and everything. And these are your tank rods. These hold the backing plate on, which hold the tank on. So let's go back over here to this pump. You got your plug here for your side return because this block has the return on top and the sides. So you can just plug that one. And then your fittings on top, you have your 90 for your pressure and then your 90 for your return. However you see fit to build your setup, that's how you can build it, but we're not going to go over that now. This fitting right here is called a male 90, a male to female 90 swivel. It's called a swivel because obviously it swivels. Say you have your dump on here like this and you got to take it off to fix it or work on it. You don't have to take a whole bunch of stuff apart to get that off. You could literally just unscrew it like that and pull it apart. I run swivels on all my stuff because when I take my stuff apart, I like for it to be easy. I do not want any hassle inside of there. On the return, you have what you call your slowdown. Okay, what the slowdown does is self-explanatory. Tighten it all the way up and you hit the dump, the car's not going to dump. Open it all the way, and you hit the dump, that car's going to drop to the ground. Here's another slowdown. This is a big Parker slowdown. This is called your dump. Okay, this consists of a few pieces also. You have a bunch of fittings, and then you have your dump block. This is your dump block. Okay, this is a Delta dump here. I run Italians in mine. People are running 8Xs, 8Ls. Those are your bigger ones. I don't have those, but I wish I did. One day I will get one. But for now, I run Italians. Italians are pretty good also. Deltas are more for lay and play. You can always tell Deltas because of the way their housing is. This is called your cartridge stem or your dump cartridge. This is what goes inside this block here. This sits inside this housing here like that. It goes into the block, and then this housing right here covers that up with an electromagnetic solenoid. All right, when I said your dump solenoid, this is what I mean. This black piece here, this gets a positive and negative charge, and it's electromagnetic, and it creates a force, and that cartridge has a spring inside of it. It pulls the spring back, and it opens up and allows the fluid to flow through the block and dump the car. So next, what we have here is our gear pump head. I have it broken down into pieces. A gear pump head's only held together by 2 bolts on the bottom, and the rest of these are used to mount to the block. Inside the gear, the pump head, you have your seals. You got this big seal here, the black one, and then you have your heart-shaped seal or your E seals. The gear comes apart into 3 different parts. So it has this part here, which you also have seals here also, and then this part comes apart also, as you can see. Oh, inside of here, I forget what this is called. Tattoo Flaked 85. If y'all know who he is, that's the homie Dana. He told me what they were called, but I forgot what they were called. He said he was giving me a little trick, but we'll go into that later. And as you can see, this goes into your motor. Well, this goes through the block, connects to a key, which I got to get a key out. I grab a key. It connects to the motor, and they're connected together by that one little key, and this spins. See I'm spinning inside? That's how the fluid gets sucked up and sent to the hoses. This is a key. It's a small little thing here. That's a key. That connects your pump head to your motor because they're both on splines. And this right, just like this. And when the motor spins, it'll spin like it also. You can't really mess this up. They only go on certain ways. One's a 16 tooth key, I believe, and one's a 9 tooth key. 9 tooth, I believe, goes to the motor, and 16 goes to the gear, but we're going to find out here to make sure I'm correct. I don't want to be putting out bad information. Yep, 16 tooth goes to the gear, and then 9 goes to the motor. That's perfect. So you can see, like that. And then your block is in between. And that's how that works. And when that spins, when the motor spins, your gear will spin. If you hit your switch and you hear, wing, you probably either broke your key or you don't have a key. It should be almost like a resistance. It'd be like, wing, wing. It shouldn't go, wing. That means something's wrong there. Okay, these right here, these are called donuts. They go over your cylinders. All right, perfect. I got a jack handle. Let's pretend this is a cylinder. Okay. These donuts go over the cylinder like this, and they sit down. So when there's like a cup at the bottom of the cylinder, which is it's like the shaft screw or whatever it's called. When your car goes up, this hits the frame, your spring pocket, bridge, whatever. I recommend you get a bridge. Don't just rely on spring pockets. You will blow through that and blow through your rear deck and your back window. It goes up, and that kind of sits there. You know what I mean? They come back down with the cylinder. So these are donuts, and then cups go on the bottom also. I'll drop a picture of a cup right here. Those are cups. This right here is a spring. This is a 4.5 ton black coil spring. There is white, green, black. I think there's some purple. I want to say there's gray, which is like 5 ton or something like that, or silver. But there are pre-cut coils, and there's full stacks. I always run full stacks and get full stacks. Then you can always cut them down to what you need them. If you buy pre-cuts, you're just screwed. If you break them in and it's too low for you, then you're gonna have to buy more coils. Okay, this right here is battery cable, and I have two because there's an obvious difference. One you use and one you do not use. This is the one you do not use, obviously. This right here is 2/0 welding cable. And for those that don't know, the gauge of the wire is the bigger the number, the smaller the wire. So 16 gauge is smaller than 14 gauge. Yes. So it goes 8 gauge, 4 gauge, 2 gauge, 0 gauge, or 1/0, 2/0, 3/0, 4/0. When you cross that into the 0, the bigger the number, the bigger the wire. I run 2/0 in my car, 2/0 welding cable. As you can see here, it is pure copper. That's what you want. You don't want this stuff here. This is stereo speaker wire. Okay, just because it's big doesn't mean it's good. This will get hot. It will melt. This is called CCA, which is copper coated aluminum or something like that. Copper cladded aluminum, something like that. It's nothing more than aluminum. I'm getting in here, try to get it to focus. It might not. There's a little bit of copper around it. It's just coated, but it's aluminum. You don't want that. Get that out of here. Welding cable. Go to your local welding supply store. Ask them for 2/0. I recommend 2/0. It's going to be pricey. You're going to pay for it. Get about 50 feet of it. 50 feet should be plenty, and you still have extra. I got 50 feet, and I still have a little bit extra, and I use some of it up still. 50 feet's plenty. That's your welding cable. Connect from your batteries, to your solenoids, to your motor. Okay, right here, here's a big one. Some people don't use these, and I don't know why, because that's ridiculous. These provide a cleaner look, easier maintenance, and everything. Some people just want their setups to be sloppy. Not me. Not happening, because these are called distribution blocks, okay? So when you wire up your switches from your switch panel, switch box, whatever you have up front, you'll get a lot of nylon wire, okay? You only need about, it depends on your car, but you only need maybe like 10 feet of it. You can cut 5-7 feet off, whatever, and then have the rest to run in your trunk for your solenoids and all that stuff. You put whatever's coming from your switch panel inside of here, then the rest that you wire in your trunk, put them through there. These go to your solenoids and all that stuff. Your solenoids and dumps. The top, or whichever way you got it facing, go to from your switch panel back out. Distribution blocks. Get them. Don't have a sloppy setup. That doesn't make sense. All these nice cars, even the dirty hoppers, bro. Like, Make it clean, bro. Make it clean. All right, I have me some fittings here. Okay, this is another form of a slowdown. Some of them, I think this is called faucet. I don't know if the handle determines whether it's a faucet or not, but it's a slowdown. This is a check valve. You put this on backwards, your car won't go up. And if you keep hitting the switch, you're going to blow something. So if you hit the switch, maybe let's say 2 times because you just built your system, you got to get that fluid to go through. You hit it 2 times. After 2 times, that car should start going up. If it don't, stop. You got a problem. Let's pause. Let's figure this out. Okay, you're going to cause a lot of issues. You're going to destroy them gears. You're going to blow hoses. You're going to just break everything apart. This is a lot of pressure in these systems. Stop. Don't keep hitting the switch. Check valves only go one way, and there's usually an arrow that designate the flow. Inside the check valve, there's a little ball. What happens is the fluid pushes that ball, and on the backside, there's a spring. Once you're done, the spring pushes back and it doesn't allow fluid to go back through in your car to drop. It holds the fluid. That's what a check valve does. Fittings. This is a big one. This is one I had to learn. This is an MPT to JIC fitting. There is a difference. JIC means, see how it's tapered? That is a JIC fitting. So if you're ever looking for fittings, this is a 3/8 JIC fitting. And I'm going to go over that here in a second. And when it's regular like this, it's called MPT, National Pipe Thread, I believe. I could be lying, but it's called MPT. MPT, the JIC fitting. All right, we're going to go over different hose sizes and what it means. Mostly all hoses come with JIC swivel fittings. All hoses come in different sizes, and they're not all called the same. They are called the same thing, but you kind of got to know what you're looking for. This is 3/8 hose. This is 3/8 hose, but it's also referred to as number 6 hose. Hoses are numbered like, I think it's, I don't know if there's a 2. I don't know if there's a 4. So we'll just start at 6. 6, 8, 10, 12. Might not even be a 14. Might be a 14. 12, 14, 16. Number 6 hose, it goes like this. I'll put it on the screen. 6 over 16. If you're any good at math, you simplify that and you find the common denominator and you divide it. So 6 over 16 simplified. I think the simplified, the common number between 6 and 16 is 2. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. And 16 divided by 2 equals 8. That makes 3/8 hose. Okay, 1/2 inch is 8 over 16. Common denominator between those two is 2. I lied, it's 4. I lied, it's 8. I'm tripping. It's 8. I'm tripping. See, I don't be trying to give y'all bad information. Even players mess up too. The common denominator between those two is 8. So 8 divided by 8 equals 1. 16 divided by 8 equals 2, which equals 1/2 inch hose. And then 3/4 hose, 12. 12 over 16. Common denominator between those two is 4. 12 divided by 4 equals 3. 16 divided by 4 equals 4. 3/4 hose. And then you have number 16 hose. So you take a guess. 16 divided by 16 equals 1. That's your 1 inch hose. So that's how those are numbered. And that's how when you're looking for hose and they say, oh, which hose do you want? You want number 8? You want number 16 hose, whatever. Just do the basic math and it'll tell you if it's a 3/8 hose or 1/2 inch hose, stuff like that. I did forget to mention fittings work the same way. This is a 3/8 to number 6 JIC fitting, which means it fits a 3/8 hose. Okay, so if you have a number 8 JIC fitting, that's a 1/2 inch fitting. They don't go when you go to a parts store or the hydraulic parts store. Whoever you're going to get your fittings from, they won't say that you need a 1/2 inch fitting because it's different. You have to say that JIC part. So it's a number 8 JIC to a 1/2 inch MPT male. So it'd be a 1/2 inch male MPT to a 1/2 inch number 8 JIC. That JIC just means it's tapered, and you need that to put your hoses on it. You cannot put your hoses, a JIC hose, on a regular MPT fitting. They are tapered for a reason. That creates a seal. And when you tighten them up, you don't crank on them. You just get them hand tight and maybe do a quarter turn, and then it's tight. Don't crank on it. You're going to mess the natural seal it has it. All right, this is a switch panel. This is a switch box. Self-explanatory. One's a box, one's a panel. I don't think I need to go more into this, but switch panel, switch box. This is a switch. Okay, you have their various switches in there. You have 3-prong, 6-prong, and 12-prong. Okay, this is a 6-prong switch. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a video of that on my YouTube also. This is a Carling switch. People swear by them. I don't know yet. You know, you're gonna find out what you like, what you don't like. All the OGs and what Carling all the way Carling. That's what we grew up with, bro. There's new technology out here. We're in 2025. It's not 1990. Some things have changed. Some things have got better. You can try different things, bro. Oh, head. You can try different things. Believe me. Oh, head. You can try different things. We're in 2025, bro. Get out the 90s. This is 2025 lowriding. This is called a switch extension. Some call them bats. I recently just learned that out. The homie Cadillac Cam. I said something. He was like, "Yeah, you running bats?" And I was like, what is a bat, bro?" Like, so I figured out I always knew it as switch extension, but some call them bats. There's various ones. This is just a slip-on one. This slips over your switch like this. You don't want it tight like that because when it's on your panel, you're not going to rock your switch. You want a little gap so you can rock your switch. And then some have a set screw that when you put on there, you take a small Allen key and you tighten it up so it doesn't come on and off. All right, this is called a solenoid. You can connect solenoids many different ways. Some people use cable. I personally use couplers. You can connect noids any way you want. Just as long as you complete a solid connection, you don't have any arcing or anything crazy, that's cool. When you connect your noids, there's an S in the I side. You connect to the S side. S to S to S to S for however many noids you got. That's how you connect your noids. And finally, these are called crimp terminals. I found them on Amazon. You get your corresponding ones to the type of cable you were running. I am running 2/0, so as you can see here, this one says 2/0 times 3/8, which means 2/0 goes in here. This is a 3/8 hole that fit over my battery studs. Okay. All right. I don't think I missed anything. I tried to really cover everything that goes into the hydraulic system, at least the basics. Everything else is a little more advanced. This is basic stuff you need to get started on your system or to find parts or whatever you got going on. But I hope I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did. I tried to pre-plan this video and get as much stuff as possible, but you know, it happens. So I'm just trying to bring the best knowledge and, you know, not trying to bring any false information out to the public. I want to help as much as possible. That's my goal. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Oh, before I go, as you can see, I got my Tippet on 3 work gear on. Nothing better than hitting the switch. Go on the website. You can find all your latest merch, whether it's stickers, hats, hoodies, shirts. Still coming up with new designs. Still trying to come up with new stuff to, you know, get us lowriders right. There's not many things here for us. We don't have much gear, so I'm trying to do that for y'all. Link is in the bio. Check it out. Check my Instagram out. Check my Facebook out. You never know what you're going to find. TikTok also. I'm out of here. Getting back to my car. Peace.